Hello and thank you for joining us again here at Esravision. Coming up, we have a full program for you. We'll be introducing you to a brand new book entitled Israel Short Stories. That's a successor to Tel Aviv Short Stories. We'll be seeing how young people from all over the world are experiencing Israel in a new way. We'll check out what we can buy at an American yard sale, and we'll meet a young man who's bringing over comedians, stand-up comedians, to Israel. Let's go over to the launch of Israel Short Stories. The success of Tel Aviv Short Stories, published to coincide with the city's centenary in 2009, reflected Tel Aviv's cosmopolitan, edgy, fun-loving vibe. Following its success, this time all of Israel is the focus and backdrop of Anglit Press's latest publication. Israel Short Stories was launched recently by co-founders Wendy and Jeffrey Gary and editor Shelley Goldman. What is the idea behind it?
It's to bring out short story anthologies that are written in English and set in Israel. Because when you buy a novel, you may like it or not. This way, you've got 70 stories. There's something for everybody. I guarantee there will be some stories you hate, some you love, but all of them are sort of a quick literary fix, and, you know, what's wrong with that? We have people from all ages, different countries, all of the Anglo-Saxon countries, and some of them are Israelis who grew up abroad and their mother tongue became English.
The house of the woman in the story is being invaded by this group of unruly boys, and the protagonist of the story is called Shitface. I wanted to call the story Shitface, but I thought nobody would publish my story if I did.
And then the door closes, and then the door opens, and the young man gets on. He's a nice young man, like other young men. He gives his money to the driver and starts down the aisle looking for a seat. He's wearing ordinary pants, his shirt not tucked in, but he looks bigger than he is. He's not fat, and yet his shirt is not tucked in, and it sticks out, bigger than he is. He stops in the middle of the aisle. He says something to the roof of the bus. I see his lips move, and then he drops his satchel, and then he explodes.
It's basically typical of Israeli society. You know, you have a community, Ezra knows this better than anyone, of people who live here and their mother tongue's English, you know, and we're as Israeli as anybody else.
For this book, 70 short stories were chosen from some 800 submissions. They are presented under 5 geographical headings: Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Haifa in the north, Kibbutz and Moshav. In fact, anywhere in Israel. Nahal, you have 2 stories published. Can you tell us about them and what they're called?
Well, one of them is called Tracing Her Footsteps, and it's about a woman who comes back to Israel for her mother's funeral. And while she's organizing her mother's effects, she finds a diary her mother wrote from her Aliyah days in 1948. The other one is called Gazozon Dizengoff. It's about a woman who visited a sister on a kibbutz in the 50s and fell in love with a young Israeli, but they parted ways because she was engaged at the time, and many years later she Googled him and she found him, and he's living in America, but they started emailing each other, and they decided to meet in Ben Gurion Airport and sort of see, just, you know, catch up.
Poignant, heartbreaking, or just plain funny, these stories portray a kaleidoscope of Israeli society as seen and experienced by 50 English-speaking residents and expatriates. A good read and perfect gift for friends abroad. And now let's learn about Budokan and meet some of the young people who are taking part in this exciting experience.
Twice a year, a group of 18 to 25-year-olds come from all over the world to take part in the Budokan Israel Martial Arts and Fitness Programme. It's a windy day in March, and members of the Spring 2011 course are warming up for their beach training session in Herzliya. Beach training is an exhilarating highlight of the physical part of the programme. Sea and sand are great training tools for developing strength and power.
There's the best group I ever have in my entire life. The trainings are amazing. The teachers, very, very amazing too. I have a black belt in Taekwondo. We have a big training today, one of the best trainings I ever had in my life. That experience you gain here, it's priceless.
I've had no martial arts experience before this. I just decided to come here to get a different experience because I really haven't traveled very much, but it's really good, like for beginners and experts, and everybody's just so nice.
Most of the people in this group came on our program with no martial arts experience. They wanted to learn self-defense, they wanted to get fit, they wanted to have a really cool experience, and they are becoming strong, not just physically, but also in the mind.
I just graduated college and I've been traveling for the last year, hiking mountains in Peru, teaching English in Ecuador, and farming in Hawaii. But honestly, this has been the best experience so far, and from week to week I'm more motivated to do more and more.
The 5-month course includes daily training in karate, judo and Krav Maga, the self-defense technique developed by the Israeli army. Participants also tour Israel extensively, learn Hebrew and study Jewish and modern Israeli history.
It's not just about physical martial arts, there's also a lot of education involved. There's also a spiritual aspect, not just Jewish spiritual aspect, but the martial arts, a spiritual aspect.
The Budokan program is designed to inspire young people to become more involved in Jewish life and assume leadership roles in their communities when they return home.
I've been in Israel for 7 months already. I was learning, I was traveling, but this is like life-changing, you know? Like every day is something. I feel better about myself, more able, and you know, Budokan has and will continue to change my life.
There's a very special reason why Avi Lieberman comes over twice a year with a stand-up comedy act.
There were some shark attacks off the coast of Sharm el-Sheikh, right? And Egypt blamed the Mossad. I'm not kidding, right? It gets so... What did a shark swim by with a yarmulke on his head?
It's the December leg of the twice-yearly Comedy for Koby multi-city tour of Israel, and we're in the town of Ra'anana. Los Angeles comedian Avi Lieberman has been organising morale-boosting comedy tours to Israel since the height of the Intifada in 2002, and tonight's audience is only too aware that the brutal event that has brought them together is anything but funny. On May the 8th, 2001, 13-year-old Koby Mandel and his friend Yosef Ishrun were stoned to death by Arab terrorists while exploring a cave near their Tekoa home. After his murder, Koby's parents started a foundation that runs programs of healing, primarily for families of terror victims.
It was sort of weird because, like, does it seem appropriate to do a comedy show over a situation where Koby Mandel, a kid who was killed?
The reason that we do this, everyone asks, well, what is the connection between comedy and Koby? Koby was a 13-year-old boy, and he loved jokes.
I think when you dance, you have more fun. And so when white people dance, there's a freedom. There's a freedom because, see, the thing is, white people, you're not married to the beat, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Sometimes I think as a comedian, you don't really think about the greater implications of what you do. You just sort of make people laugh. But yeah, if you can make people laugh and one, bring attention to a good cause, and two, maybe make them forget about their pains and sorrows for a little while. It's kind of a good thing, you know.
I live in LA, the traffic's bad there, but it's got nothing on this place.
I grew up Catholic, and to actually see where, Christ was on the cross and where they buried him and all that, that was pretty powerful,
I remember when I was younger, another kid had made a racial slur towards me. I told my dad about it. I'll never forget what my dad said to me. He said, "Greg, it doesn't matter what religion you are or what the color of your skin is. There'll always be some people out there who aren't going to like you because you're irritating."
I didn't realize how special Israel was until I went to Jerusalem, and I'm glad I made the trip.
That's sort of my mini ulterior motive, to bring the comics here, have them have a great experience, and then they come back and spread the word to the other comics.
I think we should apologize to Turkey, but, right, we should apologize to them like women apologize to men when they really don't think they've done anything wrong, right? Yeah, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
After the final show, Avi Lieberman will start raising funds and recruiting more top comedians to volunteer their services for the tour next June. And he's more convinced than ever of how fitting it is to remember Koby this way.
The best thing was Seth Mandel came up to me after the first tour, and he goes, Avi, everywhere Sherry and I go, we're sort of like pitied. People, they don't know, they walk on eggshells around us, they don't know what to say. He goes, but now they come up to us and they go, "Great show, when's the next one?" So all of a sudden, like he said, we feel more normal just because these comedians come over and perform. So that made me feel kind of good, that it sort of just made them more regular people. Just because these guys they've never met have come over and and do shows. So that was kind of nice to hear.
Americans really do love yard sales, and it does seem a wonderful way of getting rid of old stuff for cash.
I'm Naomi Ariel, and I live here in the area. Every year there's an American yard sale where there's a lot of interesting things that can be purchased.
We all are on rotations. We spend 2, 3, 4, 5 years in the country enjoying and gaining so much pleasure, but we do acquire many things.
I set up a table because I've lived in Israel for the past, thank you, that's okay, thank you, for the past 4 years, and I'm about ready to move to Hawaii. We will be living in a much smaller house in Honolulu than we are living in Herzliya, so trying to get rid of things.
I like to come to the sale. Do you want to know why?
Yes, I want to know why.
Because it's enjoyable and we have fun.
Yeah, and there's some cool stuff here.
Yeah. Yes, some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist by profession, but I had an exhibition in October that went really well. It was advertised on Tanglo, and I said, oh, that might be a good opportunity to sell my stuff.
I did this once before, about 16 or 17 years ago. It was quite an experience. It's still quite an experience.
And it's really fun.
And it's fun.
I never miss a market or a bazaar. I just love it. It's fun. And I love a bargain.
Always buying for the grandchildren. Mary, you buy anything?
Oh, yeah, I bought all kinds of things because I love flea markets. And I actually work at one in Dizengoff Circle. So this is a busman's holiday.
The Community Liaison Office has no independent funding. It's up to us as staff of that office to raise money so we could do those things, such as the July 4th barbecue and party.
What is nice about this sale is that at the end of the day, the leftovers, those are the items that people haven't sold and don't want to take back with them, are left here, and Ezra comes and collects all these items, which then go to the 2 Ezra shops.
This next item was made by Netanya College students. It's about a man who set up a hairdressing salon in a hospital.
אני וירדנה, אשתי הראשונה,
היינו חברים מגיל מאוד צעיר. לאשתי היה שיער מהמם, ארוך ויפה ומדהים. והייתה אהבה גדולה מאוד מעניין. זה אהבה של פעם בחיים. בגיל מסוים החלטנו להתחתן ולבנות בית. התחתנו, פתאום התחילו לבחילות והקאות, חשבנו שזה הריון. והלכנו לגינקולוג ועשו לה בדיקות, והרופא אמר שזה בינתיים לא רואים את זה בשתן, אבל כנראה שזה הריון. אבל הבחילות גברו וגברו וגברו וגברו. וזה היה בלתי נמנע שנלך לבית חולים. עוררתי את הרופאים, והתחילו לחשוב, בוא נעשה בדיקות, תיקח אותה לאיכילוב, גרנו בתל אביב, תיקח אותה לפה, תיקח אותה לשם, לקחת אותה הביתה, ובגלל שהייתי חובש, אז זכרתי, עבדתי בתל השומר בתור חובש, זכרתי איזה רופא אחד שקוראים לו דוקטור שקד, הוא ביקש ממני לבוא אליו הביתה, הבאתי אותה אליו הביתה, כבר לא יכלה ללכת, הרמתי אותה לידיים שנכנסנו אליו, הוא בדק, ולמעשה פה זה הקטע שהצלתי אותה, בואי נאמר במרכאות, לתקופה קצרה. הוא בדק לה את העיניים, והוא ראה שמשהו מאוד לא בסדר, והוא מיד השפז אותנו. עברנו הליך של בדיקות עם מתח ואיסורים, וגילו לה את מחלת הסרטן.
לאחר שאבי עבר תקופה מאוד קשה עם התמודדות המחלה ומותה של ירדנה, הוא הקים משפחה חדשה. הוא לקח על עצמו הקמת מספרה לחולי סרטן. ובכך הנציח את מותה.
כל הזמן זה היה בתוכי, לעשות משהו עם זה. ובאמת, כשהגעתי למעמד שיכולתי להרשות לעצמי, פניתי למנהל בית חולים שיבא במכתב, ואמרתי לו שאני רוצה להקים מספרה בתוך בית החולים לזכרה. טוב, אני אגלח לך?
מה שאתה חושב שיראה הכי נורמלי.
כן, אני אגלח לך. את הלכת עם פאה?
יש לי פאה נהדרת בבית.
ולא בא לך ללכת איתה?
ממש לא.
בסדר. הקטע הוא מה שאת מרגישה, את צריכה להרגיש טוב ולא מרגישה טוב בלי פאה, אז לא צריך פאה.
אני משתמשת בה, אתה יודע, כשצריך, כשפוגשים עוד משפחה מורחבת. אני יכולה רק להגיד לך שזה נורא מרגש אותי לראות את כל המתנדבים פה מסביב. כשאתה חי את החיים שלך כרגיל, אתה לא מרגיש, אתה בתוך ה-rate race הזה. ואתה לא יודע, אתה פשוט לא יודע. קודם כל זה מחמם את הלב שיש כזה מקום. זה גם פרקטי. אני לא הייתי הולכת למספרה עכשיו לעשות את מה שאני עושה. יש פה איזושהי בעיה לשבת במספרה עם אנשים בריאים, לבוא עם הקרחת, למשוך תשומת לב. פה זה מקום שאני מרגישה יותר בבית, והוא כולל מטרה. אני לא הייתי הולכת למספרה הרגילה עכשיו. בשום אופן לא הייתי הולכת.
אנחנו עושים פה הכל מהלב.
אני רואה.
פשוט מהלב. ויש גם אנשים שחשוב להם הפאה, ואין להם כסף לבנות פאה, ואנחנו נותנים להם באהבה.
מדהים, פשוט מדהים.
אני לא עושה לך קציץ, אני רק מסדר לך מסגרת, כי יפה לך ככה.
הוא סידר, אמרתי לך איך הגעתי לי פה בכלל.
איך?
באתי לבדיקות דם פה.
כן.
הוא ראה אותי, אתה יודע, מי חושב על מספרה בכלל?
נכון.
בזמן כזה.
נכון.
הוא בדרך וכל אלה אומר לי, בוא, מה אתה עושה? אמרתי לו, אני בא פה לטיפול. הוא אומר לי, אתה רוצה להסתפר? אני חתם, מה זה להסתפר עכשיו? אני בכלל חושב על זה. הוא אומר, בוא, אני אסדר אותך. באמת, הוא סידר לי את הראש. באתי הבית, אשתי איתה בהלם. אמרתי לי, מה היה לך זמן ללכת למספרה? וככה, לא, את לא יודעת מה יש פה. אמרתי לי, מה יש פה? העליתי אותה יום אחד לפה, הייתה בשוק. אתה לא באת לעשות קרחת. פתאום הצער נופל, נושר, עכשיו מה הפתרון? יש מקום כזה שנותנים לך פאה בחינם.
פה הכל בלי כסף. כסף, יש לי במספרה הגדולה שלי, שם אני מקבל אנשים בריאים, ושם משלמים לי, ובזכות המספרה הגדולה יש לי כסף לממן את המספרה הזאת.
יש פה עסדים שאי אפשר אפילו בכסף להעריך אותם. אני בא פה בביטחון, אנשים נוגעים לי, זה חשוב. מאוד חשוב.
התרומה שלי נותנת לי הרבה יותר מאשר למי שתורמים לו. הם יוצאים אחרי תספורת מחוזקים, מעודדים, יפים, הרבה יותר מאושרים ממה שהם נכנסו. פה אתה רואה דברים קשים, זה לא פשוט. אבל אני מצליחה להתגבר על כל הרגשות האישיים שלי, להעמיד אותם בצד, ובאמת לעשות את העבודה כמו שצריך כאן.
אני מאחל לכל אחד, מי שיכול לתת ולהעניק, לתרום ולתת ולהעניק כמה שהוא יכול. כי לדעת לתת זה יותר מאשר לקבל.
כי אחרי ככלות הכל והתמונה, מישהו יכול לשאול בלי כוונה, מתי בפעם האחרונה עשית משהו בשביל מישהו, עשית משהו בשביל מישהו, בשביל מישהו.
Our next item takes us all the way up north near Metula to Nahal Ayoun.
This is the walk of 4 waterfalls starting at Metula, and even though there's no water in the waterfalls, it should be a very nice walk.
The sources of the stream are in Lebanon's Ayoun Valley. The stream flows down between Metula's east side and the Lebanese border. As the stream runs down into Israel towards the Jordan River and Lake Kinneret, it has carved out this beautiful green canyon. The walk is not too strenuous, so it's an ideal choice for a family outing. The trail that we're taking from the top down takes about 1.5 hours. There's also a shorter one that starts and finishes in the lower car park. The guide told me that until just 5 days ago, the waters were still cascading down these cliffs. Now, in late spring, it's down to a trickle. But there's plenty to enjoy here at any time of the year. In summer, water from the river is drained off by Lebanese farmers for irrigation purposes, and the riverbed here becomes dry. But the Nature Reserves Authority in Israel has ambitious plans to revive these falls by redirecting water from the River Dan into the Ayoun River. The frogs are hard to spot, but they break out with such a din that we can't doubt their presence. It's a good idea to check before you start that there's transport from the lower parking lot to take you back to your car at the upper lot. Otherwise, you'll have an uphill walk along the road back into Metula.
השמש השמש לא תחזיר, כאן השמש לא תחזיר.
This program comes to you from Esravision. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you'll be with us again next month. You can call us on 09 950 8371 and we have a website. It's www.ezra.org.il. Keep in touch.